Welcome to Arkitechts, where we have a look at building tips and tricks for both PvP and aesthetics. In today's episode, we're going to investigate double and quadruple walls to build a bunker. Now, today's episode we're going to have a quick look at double walls, which you can see I can demonstrate here fairly easily. So get one wall in, snap to the foundation, the other wall there, snap to the ceiling. And that gives us a double layer of protection there. We're going to expand this a little bit further by adding some fence foundations to both our ceiling and our foundation there. This will allow us, as you can see here, to place a couple extra structures in here. So standard wall goes back where it was, but now we can also, if I get the right angle, snap another wall onto that fence foundation there. Now you have to delete any walls that are already in the way to do this, but what it does is basically provide you with 4-layer thick of walls. Of course, all a raider would have to do is break down their foundation to get in, so they're not quite as strong, especially these external walls, but otherwise, I mean, it's still exceptionally effective. Your fence foundations there have, I think it's about 4,000 health, so they provide a pretty substantial amount of extra defense. As you can see here, if I've already put the external wall on, I can't then put the internal wall back in, so I have to delete this wall that was on the fence foundation and snap another wall back in there next to that internal wall. There we go. Now this works on both ceilings and foundations, as you can see. You can see there that the one snapped to the internal fence foundation is actually a little bit lower, and that allows us to do something a bit tricky here with the ceilings. If I get the right angle, there we go, you can see that's a little bit lower than what it could have been, and that's actually snapped to the most internal wall there. And then this one here snaps onto those middle walls there, the ones that are actually snapped directly to the foundation of the ceiling. This provides us with a double layer of ceilings. Again, heaps more defense, and it's actually quite solid as far as what you can do defensively there. You can do lots and lots of onion shells or honeycombing or whatever you want to call it. But basically that allows us to do all of these really awesome kind of layers after layers. It makes it really hard for people to actually break in. Makes it very expensive for someone to raid your base. Now you can see there, we've got a solid 4-layer thick. I can do a double layer thick of ceiling there. And what I'm going to do is quickly just start expanding this a little bit. So give me a second, I'll fast forward through this so you can see it. And snap down a bunch of foundations. I'll have to delete a bunch of walls and things as well. And yeah, you can see here, as I delete these things to make a bit of room, I have to delete these ones so I can put in more fence foundations. Got to get the right angle. So yeah, we've got a double layer of fence foundations. You got to make sure they snap into each other correctly, otherwise you end up with some funny mismatched walls. And so you just got to play around those angles a little bit. It's a lot easier. Obviously, I've got the fly enabled, so I could fly around and do this a little bit more easily. But if you don't have that, it's still very much possible. Don't freak out. It's just a matter of getting everything kind of lined up correctly. There we go. All our fence foundations in. Now you got to do those internal walls first, the ones that actually snap directly to the foundations and all the ceilings. And you can see there, I've got a 4-layer thick, and that's got those two internal ones are higher because they're snapped directly to the foundations, and the external ones are snapping to those fence foundations, so they're a little bit lower and they allow us to tap those things in. Right there, we can continue this around when they're but just get out of my way. Every dino wants to come and visit me today. And you can see it can be a little bit difficult, a little bit tedious to kind of get everything snapped in correctly. Alright, we'll leave a bit of a gap there so that I can get in a... So you can see here, actually I've decided that I wanted to put a pillar in there. So what I do is delete all of these. And this is probably actually a really good idea, and I'd recommend it if you're going to do this kind of build. Basically it protects all of your walls, so it means someone can't target your corner and attack all of the layers of walls at once, which adds a lot of defense. A little bit of a hang there. Alright. And yeah, so you can see there, that's protected the ends of my walls. Again, pillars don't have as much health. You can see that's where the walls are exposed there on the edges. So having that pillar there is actually pretty helpful. Now, just a matter of getting these doorways in. Again, you know, you got to get those internal ones first because it becomes very difficult. Here you can see what I've actually done is the foundations, or the fence foundation, is in the wrong place. I'm not sure if it was the wrong angle that I attached it from or something like that, but there's always lots of different ways that you can attach it. And this is actually preventing me from putting in the extra position. So what I'll do is quickly just fast forward through the remainder of this, because this isn't really worth watching. And it takes me a little while there to kind of work out that there's actually that foundation that's broken. The fence foundation that's broken, I should say. So a new fence foundation goes in there. Allows me to clip everything in properly. Get these internal ones. There we go. Now everything's all lined up. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't quite work out how to get this all kind of lined up correctly and get multiple doors into those doorways. So you can see there I can get every second one. I'm going to look into this and I'll do another video on how to do that when I've worked it out. Let me know in the comments below if you already know it, so then we can share it with everyone else. But yeah, basically this allows us to continue on with the work here and build the rest of this kind of bunker, seal it all in, get the rest of these walls up. Again, see I've put the external wall before the internal one. You really got to make sure you get that right. And then getting some of these angles is actually quite difficult. But once you get it, it's actually a really solid kind of base design, and it makes it really, really difficult for someone to raid you. So bear with me here, I'll just fast forward through the remainder of this really quickly. And I'll see you on the other side. Alright, again, so you can see we're putting in the ceilings. They don't quite line up perfectly, but there you go, it's all sealed in now. And then we can seal that up completely from here on out. Now, unfortunately, with the double ceiling, you can't get trapdoors to work internally, because interacting with, like, opening an internal hatch will, from the bottom at least, will open it up, but then you can't interact with the second one. So you could have the hatch frame there and have only one hatch door, but I wouldn't recommend it, and I don't think it's a really great way to kind of get around that. And here you can see it, I've got it fully closed in now. I have to actually put on the walk and crawl through, or crouch through that doorway, just because I've got that fence foundations in the way there, so they kind of stop you from walking through freely, but that's all that really is. It's not really a problem. Now you can see it's all enclosed. Got that pillar in the corner there. Here in that corner you can see where it's all exposed, so potentially a rocket could hit that and hit all four simultaneously, which will still only get you halfway through the wall, but it still could be inconvenient. Now this all needs to be closed in, and that's pretty much all that's left to be done. And then what I'm going to do is kind of expand this and make another double wall around the outside, just for kind of a honeycombing kind of effect here. So you can see, again, I just put down my fence foundations, nice and easy, same as like we did before. This time only one layer though, so you don't have to worry too much about getting both kind of lined up correctly. And then it's just a matter of putting those walls in place. So quickly go through this, and we'll come back out the other side. Alright, so now that's all in. I've walled that all up and put a ceiling layer in. The second ceiling kind of seals the deal. And then we've got a couple layers of ceiling on both the top outer layer and then a couple layers on the inner layer there as well. Again, gotta walk around, have a bit of a quick look. Whack down a few plant turrets here. And then I'll whack a few auto turrets around the outside there. And that should pretty much have us sorted. So you can see here, this is our base. It's completely sealed in now. I've got a generator on that inner wall, so we've got essentially 6 layers of wall at any given point to get all the way in. I've got a couple of internal turrets which I'll get some footage of to show you in a moment. And yeah, that's basically our base. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like, get subscribed, all those good things. And if you've got any more tips or tricks of your own, let me know in the comments down below. As always, my name's Zach, and I'll see you next time.